Any small children nearby, you may want to have them go into another room for our other big story right here tonight at 6. It's a shakeup for the University of Kentucky cheer squad. The university announcing today that they've fired all 4 coaches. It comes after an internal investigation by UK uncovered hazing, alcohol use, and public nudity among the squad. Heather Fontaine is detailing the explosive new report.
Hazing, nudity, and drinking. These are the disturbing details revealed after a 3-month investigation into the University of Kentucky cheerleading squad, including at a cheer camp in Tennessee.
Some cheerleaders were directed by other members of the squad to perform lewd chants and wear outfits that did not include underwear.
The investigation launched after concerns from a cheerleader's family member. The alleged inappropriate behavior happening during summer trips like a team retreat at Lake Cumberland.
Coaches allowed cheerleading alumni to bring boats and alcohol to the retreat, where some cheerleaders were naked and/or drinking while riding on boats.
The report also says some cheerleaders were doing basket tosses, being thrown into the water while topless or with no bottoms. 60 cheerleaders and coaches and the program advisor were interviewed. 15 of the team members say they believed the coaches were watching. According to the report, program advisor of 40 years, Teelan Williamson, said he noticed some of the young women taking off their tops and did nothing because he simply said he wanted to believe it didn't happen. Williamson retired during the investigation. Head coach Jomo Thompson and the 3 assistant coaches were fired. UK officials argue they knew or should have known about the bad behavior and didn't do enough to address it.
One thing is crystal clear. The blue and white squads have been operating under lax oversight for many years. That can no longer happen, and it won't.
Despite initial accusations, the investigation did not find any evidence of sexual assault. No cheerleaders have been dismissed from the team, but they will have to go through training focusing on sexual harassment and anti-hazing. The university hopes to find a new coach within a month. For WHAS 11 News, I'm Heather Fontaine.